everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I've actually done another dragon artwork. If you've been following my channel lately, you've probably noticed that I have started to get back into drawing dragons. Now, I had this really cool idea the other day, and my idea was to do a series of dragon artworks. However, these dragons, I wanted to make them inspired by different tea varieties. That's right, you heard me correctly. I want to do some dragons inspired by different tea varieties. And the first tea variety in this series is matcha. Now, I am a big fan of matcha green tea. I think it's delicious and it's really interesting how it's made and that kind of thing. And I really wanted to do a dragon inspired by that. Now, when I first thought about a matcha tea dragon, I kind of quickly had the idea to do a more sort of oriental style dragon. And that's mainly because matcha green tea originates in Asia. So that's definitely where I wanted to bring the artwork, because I wanted to obviously stay true to that kind of tea, but also put my little spin on it as well. So this dragon, it's mostly, you know, one of those oriental style snake looking dragons that like float around. And I decided I wanted to make the horns on the dragon tea leaf branches. Now I thought that this was a really cool addition, and as well as that I wanted to make the hair on the dragon's sort of beard and along its spine, I wanted that to be like a white fluffy kind of hair. Now the main reason for the white fluffy hair is because I wanted that to signify the hot milk that you mix with matcha. And I also wanted it to kind of look like it was steamy or, you know, bubbly, floating, that kind of thing. So I actually have little bits of the, I don't know what you call it, its mane floating off. Now that's mainly just so that it looks like it's hot and like, you know, steamy, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's my main reason why I wanted to make it look like that. And also I think it looks pretty cool. So once I got it mostly inked up using my Copic Multiliners, I decided to go into the background first. Now my main reason for going into the background is because oftentimes when I colour in the figure and then I colour in the background, I find that the colours and the saturation, all that in the background, kind of changes what the figure looks like. So I really wanted to, you know, do the background first, and that way most of the artwork is already done, so that I can accurately do the figure the way I want it to do. Now for this background I decided to do a sort of bamboo field kind of pattern. Now this is mainly because traditionally with matcha, you can see it a lot online, the little kits that you can get come with like a little bamboo whisk and sometimes like a little cup that looks like it was made with bamboo. I don't know if that's actually what they used to do it with, or if it's just, you know, because it looks cool or what. Anyways, I decided I really wanted to do that as well, because yeah, no, I thought it would look really nice, but also give it a nice environment for the dragon. So going over the background, I used mainly some browny tones and also some very soft yellowy tones, and also some warm greys for that bamboo colour. And then I used a very muted greyish olive green for the leaves. Now for the background behind that, I wanted it sort of dark but not saturated, so I actually decided to use a cool grey 7 to do the first layer of that darker colour, and then I would lay some Prussian blue over the top, so it's sort of a layered colour, you know, like a way of getting a different colour from two different markers. And I like to do that with my Copic sometimes, especially when I don't have the marker for that, but also because it gives it a nice effect. Because because you're obviously layering colors over the top of each other, each layer is not going to be perfect, and some parts are going to be darker than other parts very slightly. So you get a little tiny bit of variation in the blue. Some parts are a little bit more grayish, some parts are a little bit more bluey, and some parts are darker and lighter as well. So it's very subtle, but when you actually look at it, you can kind of tell, and I actually really like that. Now I actually wanted to give a little bit of backstory to this dragon and just talk about it a little bit, because to be honest, when I'm really loving an illustration, I end up coming up with little stories or, I don't know, lore about them. I did that in my last artwork, my YouTube artist collective, and to be honest, I started to do it in this one as well. So this dragon lives up way up in the mountains, very secluded area. It is very dense jungle kind of style. Also, this dragon lives far away from any other people, and it's actually dangerous for people to go there because of the thick vegetation and all the dangerous animals. So this dragon rarely ever sees people. However, this dragon is also very powerful. It exudes calm alertness into all of the animals and people around it, especially even if you live far away from the mountains but you can sort of see them in the distance. This dragon's powers still sort of reach towards you. Also, in the event any person actually meets with this dragon, he is not a vicious type of dragon. He's actually very calm despite his looks. Also, if you ever get the chance to get one of the leaves off its horns and you make tea with this leaves, it actually gives you a lot of health and vitality and makes you live a very long healthy kind of life. So yeah, and I thought that was a really cool addition to this dragon. Now I know the bamboo behind the look makes it look kind of small, however this dragon is pretty huge. So one of those leaves on top of its head will actually make a lot of tea, and I mean a lot, like enough that you wouldn't need to buy tea for very long. So yeah, now I'm actually colouring in this dragon, and I wanted the colours on the dragon to be more intense, saturated and bright compared to the background, because I wanted this dragon to look like it's popping off the page. I definitely made the colours in the background very soft and subtle on purpose, and if you couldn't tell, I actually didn't do any line art in the background. I went in just purely with the markers to draw the background, and that's mainly because I wanted that soft look as well. So since we have the bright colours in the dragon and the sharp line art, it really does help it pop off from the background. So I went mostly with a new leaf and grass green for the dragon's body, and this was obviously because it was very close to actual matcha tea powder that I have. And I also went in with some more very slightly aquary blue greeny kind of colours for its belly. Now this is mainly because I wanted this dragon to have a lot of green in it, and if you have a look at this artwork, it's mostly green with very subtle browny grey colours, so I definitely wanted this dragon to be very green. Now as for the furry kind of mane on this dragon, I decided to leave it mostly white with very subtle bluey greeny kind of shading. Now this is mainly because I wanted that mane fur to signify the hot milk that goes in a matcha latte. And also, yeah, I kind of mentioned that before, but I wanted to say that again because I actually decided to go back in with my gel pen to add in those parts, that the little steamy bubbly parts that come off. So here is the final piece, and I am so happy with this artwork. I really do love it, and I think it was a really good start to this new series that I'm doing. So yeah, if you have any ideas for next artworks in this series, like a chamomile tea dragon or a honey and lemon tea dragon, definitely let me know down below. Also, I do have prints on my Redbubble, so yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone!